Hi. So, again, I was sick. This happens. I'm catching up. We're going to do one blog entry with 2 reviews, and then another blog entry with 2 album reviews. So this is my second album review of the night. 4 albums. 4 different rooms. 4 different blogs. No wait. Sorry, I got too carried away. It was 2 blogs, 4 albums, 4 rooms. Sorry. Well, this is room 2. Anyway, album review 2's got me going on a nice little bit of a flow, and I'm really feeling it. It's not a period joke, nor is it a reference to someone from that stupid Progressive commercial. It's actually my newest favorite album, which is Florence and the Machine, the new one. How big, how blue, how beautiful. Anyway, I know giving that is a bit of a spoiler, considering it's a review itself, but Florence and the Machine are already on a roll with 2 albums to just own. So when it comes to the 3rd album, I think it's always come down to a question of whether they would be able to pull off 3 in a row, because they got over the sophomore slump and they pulled it off, and now they're back. This is the album that proves them to be superstars, to me. And it's not because it takes 3 albums to do that, because Lady Gaga proved that isn't true. It's because I think this album shows off the songwriting and not just the voice. The songwriting was always there, but this is where it gets really deep. And let's talk about it. Anyway, some stuff happened to Florence in the past here over the while, and basically a giant breakup that's her making Taylor Swift's breakup songs look and feel like crap about themselves. Because this is how it's done when it comes to breakup albums. This is, if not the 2nd best album of the year in terms of breakout albums, if not that, would be the best. Father John Misty has an amazing take on a breakup album, but this one is also spot-on amazing. Let's do some history on Florence and the Machine. Florence and the Machine are, of course, an English indie rock band formed in London, consisting of lead vocalist Florence Welch, Isabella Summers, and the collaboration of other artists. The band's music has received praises from pretty much the entire freaking world. Yeah, Florence and the Machine actually got their rise to prominence as part of BBC Introducing. The band's debut studio album was Lungs in 2009. After that came Ceremonials. And finally, How Big, How Blue, How Beautiful. It's taken them a while for this one, so it's okay to take a bit of a break, though, in their case. The name of Florence and the Machine is a tribute to Florence Welch's teenage collaboration with Isabella Machina Summers. Welch and Summers performed together for a time under the name Florence Robot Isha Machine. According to Welch, the name Florence and the Machine started off as a private joke that got out of hand. It made music with my friend, we called it Isabella Machine, to which I was Florence Robot. I was an hour away from my first gig, and I still didn't have a name, so I thought, okay, I'll be Florence Robot Isha Machine, before I realized that the name was too long. It'd drive me mad. In addition to Summers, keyboards and background vocals, the current band members or musicians are Robert Ackroyd, guitar backing vocals, Chris Hayden, drums and percussion, Mark Sanders on bass and background vocals, and Tom Monger on harp. Very important member of the group, a harpist. Seriously, that's not facetious, it's true. In the past, Welch's Machine is under pressure creative process, claiming I've worked with most of them for a long time, and they know my style, know my way I write, and they know what I want. She recorded in 2007 with Ashcock and released an album titled Plans on Filthy Records. This album included versions of Kiss with a Fist, which took the point entitled Happy Slap. From that point on, she went on and resigned a canceled contract. She went on to sign to a major record label. Florence and the Machine released their first album, Lungs, in the United Kingdom in 2009. The album was produced by James Ford, and also much of the material on this album was a reaction to what turned out to be a temporary breakup with Welch's former boyfriend. She said, "He prefers me to not talk about it. It's funny than singing about it." I don't know. This album took over. It was huge. At number 2 in the UK and Ireland. In the US, it sold over 100,000 copies. Following that, 2009 release in the US. Huge releases for, of course, Dog Days Are Over, Kiss with a Fist, and just basically the whole album. From there we went on to do a huge amount of touring and come back. The 2nd album, Ceremonials. Ceremonials was 2011. It was recorded in Abbey Road Studios. Refinement took place at Epworth's own Los Angeles, London studio records. That doesn't make sense, but that's okay. Wikipedia it. But Welch recorded U.S. vocals all over from days of touring. And then we get to now, which is, of course, How Big, How Blue, How Beautiful. That took a 5-year break And this album is actually based on another breakup. If you don't even need me to tell you that, you can hear it in the album. So let's do my little rundown that I've written for this because, well, there's a lot to say. It's an in-depth album. Basically, Florence and the Machine are out to prove one thing here. Will she go 3 for 3? The Ship's to Wreck. Ship to Wreck is the first track on the album, and it's acoustic guitar and a steady drum beat that start off the song. She asks herself if she screwed up in a relationship, and it's a very, very personal song. It's a theme that continues throughout the album. The quote here being, "Did I drink too much? Am I losing touch? Did I build this ship to wreck?" The ship, of course, being her failed relationship. It's a song... It's much more scaled back from the past grandiose music we've heard from her. The songwriting here is huge. It's beautiful, and it's an absolute highlight. And then we get to the monster of a lead single, which is What Kind of Man. It's a powerhouse. In every way, it's a powerhouse. It's one of the best songs I think she's ever written. It rocks out. It's driven by huge grinding guitar riffs, a powerful horn section, and then rock star power vocals. Seriously, she brings it up to 11 on this one. This song was so personal that it snarls with the emotion, and I love it. Most of the album is stripped back on purpose by her producer to let the songwriting shine, but this one, they flip it on and they don't care, and I love it so much. Obvious radio hit, obvious album highlight, just awesome song. Seriously, it really is. Next one on the album is called How Big, How Blue, How Beautiful. Of course, the title track. This strips back from the sound of the one before it, and it is nothing like What Kind of Man. It's actually a much more stripped down song where the harp makes its first notable appearance. It's a welcome one. It's a sound that we're used to hearing from her or something. I don't know. This is a much more reserved look at the depression that comes after ending a relationship. The next one, Queen of Peace, is actually kind of ironic because it has nothing to do with being at peace. It actually is the exact opposite. It starts with a string section before going much more steady pop-driven song. It switches between quiet, reserved, and loud with blaring horns in the back. It's pretty much the fear and the just unbelievable switching back and forth of emotions when you have no idea how to react when you can't be at peace with yourself after everything around you has just been uprooted and destroyed, your life. It's a great song. Various Storms and Saints is an absolutely gorgeous stripped-down ballad. This is more of an empowering moment for her rather than a sad moment about the breakup. It's, I don't know, it look to the stars and feel like you can be a part of the world again kind of moment. You know, the self-help is actually starting to work at this point. Delilah is a piano-driven pop song. Florence shows off her range here in a major way. The high notes are just stunning. It's the danger of putting yourself back out there into a new relationship after your past failings, the fear about it, that it'll go wrong again. This is a super catchy song, and it makes you think that even celebrities and musicians and famous people have trouble putting themselves back out there when they get hurt. It's not just us humans, it's all over the world. And I think that speaks volumes because, you know, you don't really think of them as people sometimes, and that's a shame, but they are people. Long and Lost is the quietest and most delicate delivery of any Florence song I've ever heard. She effortlessly floats this jazzy vocals over her background singers, and just a guitar strums along for most of the song. I don't know, it's about being lost and wanting to go back to her ex, but even though she knows she can't. And it's just effortlessly floats. It's beautiful. The next one is called Caught, and it's the second quietest album on here. It's an emotional one too. It's very powerful. It's the hardest thing I've ever had to do, to try and keep myself from calling you. Powerful stuff, seriously. This isn't a pop hit or a blasting rock song, and it's quite an emotional, sad ballad. Really, honestly, this stuff is what pop stars should be writing like, but they don't. Emotion is just like the catchy line I can talk about my boyfriend, but not in a real way that matters. The next song on here, Third Eye, kicks it back up, though, because they need some power here, and they bring it. After two quiet songs, she reaches for the heights and pulls out all the stops. This is as big as every past hit on here. This song feels, in a way, like Dog Days Are Over. And you deserve to be loved for who you are is the message here. And it's good to see her happy again. She's working as a bit of a self-help guru. And that continues on the next one, which is one of my personal favorites, St. Jude. This is such an insanely powerful song about the lyrics. I'm the patron of saint of lost causes, she cries, as this relationship was doomed before it began. It's a jazzy ballad, and it's one of her best wordplay on the entire album. It's raw and emotional, and it's beautiful. The lyrics are a true highlight, but the music itself is jazzy and amazing. I love this song. Seriously, St. Jude is such a different song from the rest of the album, but it's so good. And the final song, the closer, Mother. Man, what a song. One hell of a song. This is so much more than a pop song. It really is. It's bluesy, it's psychedelic, it's rock, it's pop, it's jazz, it's everything. It's got horns, it's got strings. It's a song from a different era. It's, most importantly, it packs a hell of a punch. It's my favorite song on here, and I think it just rocks in the same way. It's nothing I've ever heard from a pop star, and I love that she ends the album this way, because it's such a good way to close the songs off. I think this is Florence's most personal album to date. It's probably not my favorite, because I'm so personally nostalgically attached to Lungs. But this album is beautiful. The songs work so much here, stripped down to show off the powerful songwriting itself. She's become so much more than a pop star, honestly. She's got the style and the bombast, surely she proves that here, but she's also got the songwriting and the emotional, powerful lyrics. The songs stand on their own even if there wasn't all the flair and bombast around them. Not that she ever needed it in the first place, but this album makes it 3 in a row. She's got the voice, she's got the unique instrumentation, and now she's got the strong lyrics and the amazing stories to tell as well. She may have crafted the breakup album of the year, honestly. Father John Misty may come after her for that title, though. It's tough to say. They're both very good breakup albums. This one I'd recommend Ship to Wreck, What Kind of Man, St. Jude, and Mother, but there's so many others that are great. Oh, God. Third Eye's great. I love Long and Lost. Man, it's tough. Queen of Peace is great. There's so many that are good. 4.5 out of 5 stars. Sure, it's not a perfect album. It loses me at a couple of points, but there isn't really very much of a case for a perfect album anymore. It's just awesome. Check it out.